Okay, hi guys, today we'll understand reduce method in JavaScript. So without any delay, let's get started. So I hope you could see my screen. Let me remove all this. Actually, I just shot this video, but the first part, the voice in the first part is not being recorded. I don't know, it's problem with this OBS now. So okay, let's come here. Okay, we'll understand reduce by using examples. So first let's get to the example. Let's get to the example. This is an array. What we want is we want sum of this array, okay, and we'll store that sum into result, and finally we'll console the result. Okay, I'll tell you the definition of reduce, but first let's see one example, then I'll tell you how it works. Okay, so we'll see, say const result is equals to numbers array. We want sum of all the elements in this array. So what we have in reduce, we have reducer function, although we could use arrow function here, but to keep things simple, I'll show you this example using a reducer function. But you might say, what is reducer function that we have passed in the reduce method? Let me define reducer function. Okay, let me write it. Accumulator current. First time writing it, then I'll tell you what is accumulator, what is current, and how it's working. Accumulator plus current. Okay, this is what is being returned. What's the issue? Oh, I did not use the reduce itself. So yeah, so you could see in console we are getting, let me refresh it. Okay, you can see in console we are getting 20. Okay, so yeah, which is the sum of all of these elements. So what is happening here is this accumulator and current are these parameters are internally provided by this reduce method to this reduce function. This accumulator, you don't have to do anything here. This accumulator and the current are internally provided by this reduce method to this reducer function. Okay, now let me tell you what is happening. For the very first iteration, actually what reduce does is reduce iterates through each of the element of the array. Reduce iterates through each of the elements iterates through each of the element of an array, and true to its name, it finally returns a single value, that is reduces the whole array into a single value. Okay, so for the first iteration, accumulator will be always this is always true for the first iteration. For the first iteration, accumulator will be the value presented index 0. Accumulator will be the value presented index 0 of the array, and current will be the value presented index 1 of the array, that is 6. So current will be 6. So for the first iteration, always remember, for the first iteration, accumulator is the value presented index 0 and current is the value presented index 1. Yeah, it's simple, no? So what will return? We are returning accumulator plus current. Okay, accumulator was 1 and current is 6. So 7 will be returned. Now let's come to the second iteration. Now listen carefully. Like, these are the two things that you need to remember. The first thing is, for the first iteration, always accumulator will be the element presented index 0 and current will be the element presented index 1. And for the subsequent iterations, accumulator is the value returned by the previous iteration, that is 7. So for the subsequent iteration, accumulator is the value returned by the previous iteration, always, okay. So like remember it, for any iteration except the first iteration, accumulator will always be the value returned by the previous iteration. So here 7 is being returned by the previous iteration, that's why accumulator is equals to 7, okay. And current is easy, current is simple, current is just the next value. So what comes after 6? 9 is there in the array after 6, and what will return accumulator plus current, that is 6 plus 9, which is 16, okay. Now for the third iteration, what will be the accumulator? I told you accumulator will be the value returned by the previous iteration. So 16 will be the accumulator. What will be the current? Current will just be the next value. What comes after 9? 4 is there after 9. 1, what will return? Will return 16 plus 4, that is 20. Now you could see after 4 there could be no more current because array ends at 4 and 4 is the last element of the array. So this is the final return value, 20 is the final return value, okay. And yeah, 20 is the answer, you could see in the console also. So yes, that's it. Now let us say I want multiplication of these numbers instead of sum. I want multiplication. That is what I want is, I want 1 into 6 into 9 into 4 as my answer. So I don't have to do anything, just replace plus with multiply sign, and you can see we got 216 in console. Now what is happening? Again the same procedure, but I will tell you. Now you guys tell me what will be the accumulator. For the first iteration, accumulator is the element present at the 0th index, that is 1. What will be the current? For the first iteration, current is the element present at the first index 1, that is index number 1. Now what is present at index number 1? 6. Now what will be the value of return? Return will be 7. Again we'll say what is accumulator? Accumulator is whatever is being returned by the previous iteration, that is 7. What is current? Current, what comes after 6? After 6, 9. So current is 9. And what will be the return? What will be returned? No, not here. Return will be 6 because 1 into 6 is 6. That's why return will be 6. And here since 6 is returned, 6 will be the accumulator for the second iteration, and 9 will be the current. Now what will be the return? 54 will be the return. 6 9 ja 9 6 ja 54. Now accumulator is the value returned by the previous iteration, that is 54, and current is what comes after 9? 4 is there after 9. Current is 4, and what will be returned? Finally 216 will be returned, and we are getting 216 in the console, okay, because after 4 there are no more array elements present, okay. So it's done. Okay, let me tell you one more thing. There is one more argument that you could give to the reduce method, that is what we call it, we'll call it initial value. What happened? We'll call it initial value, okay. So let's say I again want, instead of multiplication, let's again come to the first example, that is sum, okay. I want the sum to be returned, okay. Now let's say there is initial value here 2, we provided initial value 2 here. Now what happens? You can see in console, instead of 20 we got 22 as the result, of this reduce method, okay. But why? I'll tell you why. You guys remember here what we are doing is, here there was no initial value, okay, or rather I will say without initial value. Now let me tell you what happens when there is initial value, when initial value is provided, because I just told you initial value is an optional argument, there is no necessity on you to provide it, but if the question demands it, you must provide it. Here there is no need to provide it because we only want the sum of this array, but I am providing initial value here so that you guys could understand what this initial value does. Okay, when we provide initial value, listen carefully, when we provide initial value, there is only a small change. What that change is, for the very first iteration, accumulator is equals to initial value and current is equals to the element present at index 0. Okay, so let me reiterate, when there is no initial value, that is without initial value, accumulator is the element present at index 0 and current is the element present at index 1. But when we are having initial value, accumulator is the element accumulator is equals to initial value and current is the element present at index 0. That is the only difference, otherwise it will work the same way. So what will we return here? We will return accumulator plus current, that is 2 plus 1, 3. Now 3 will work as accumulator for the next iteration. Since we returned 3 from in the previous iteration, what will be the current? What came after 1? Because current is just the next value and nothing much. So current is 6, will return 9 because 3 plus 6 is 9. Now accumulator will be 9, since 9 is being returned by the previous iteration. Current will be 9 because after 6 there is 9 in the array. Now we will return 9 plus 9, that is 18. Now for the next iteration, what will be the accumulator? 18 will be the accumulator because 18 is being returned by the previous iteration. What will be the current? Whichever number is there after 9, that is 4 is current. What will return? Will return 22. 18 plus 4, 22. After 4 there is no other element, so 22 is the final value. So we got 22 in the console also. So this is how this works when we provide initial value. Okay, now let me tell you one more thing. Instead of defining this reducer function separately, what you could do is you could use arrow functions. That is much more preferable. So I will show you how to do this using arrow functions. It's very easy. Again, what we are taking as input, accumulator and current. You can name it anything. Instead of accumulator, you can name it ABC. Current, you can name XYZ. But the point is, accumulator will behave as accumulator and current value will behave as this current. Doesn't matter what name you give here, they behave in the same way that I showed you in this and here. Okay, so they behave in the same way. Name could be anything, that doesn't matter. So we could say, let me remove the initial value first. So we could say accumulator current, and what we want to be returned, accumulator plus current. If you guys know the arrow functions, you guys understand that when there is a single statement, we don't have to use the return keyword. No, if there are multiple lines here, then in that case I have to write like this. But if there is a single statement, there is no need to use return statement. So I'll write this only. No, okay. And again, you can see in the, let me refresh once. You can see on the console we are getting 20. And when we are providing initial value, just do it here, provide initial value. Sorry, okay. So let me do this. Okay, so when we provide initial value, see, now we are getting 22. We provide initial value in the same way. Only difference being here, instead of writing the function name, we are using the arrow function. Okay, so yes, this is done. Let's get to the next example. And you can also do the multiplication thing like this. So if you want the result, all these elements to be multiplied, you want 216 and you will get 216 in the console. Okay, now let me move on to the next example. Here I taught like step by step, I wrote each step for every example. Okay, given an array of odd numbers, find the sum. Given the array of numbers, find the sum of odd numbers. Okay, so what we want here is we want sum of odd numbers. Let me, okay, I reduce the length of my array so that our question will be shorter and you can get the concept. Otherwise this video will be very long and I don't want that to happen. So yes, we want sum of odd numbers. Let me remove all this. We'll be using arrow function here. Now whenever you see, like whenever you decide to use reduce method, first find out whether you need to use initial value or not. Okay, so let us do it. Accumulator and current we are getting as input. What we'll do is here we need initial value. Okay, I'll tell you why. First let's write this. Let's see, since I'm using initial value, the current will start from 1, that is from the 0th index itself, no? So I'll see current mod 2 equals to 0. If this is true, this is the conditional operator. Then if this is true, then do something, otherwise do something. This is how conditional operators work. So yeah, if this is true, then do nothing because it's an even number, return accumulator as it is. But if this is false, then do accumulator plus current and let's say initial value is 0. Okay, now what is happening here is, I'll make you understand here. Initial value of accumulator here is 0 because we are having initial value argument here, we are providing initial value argument here. Okay, so when there is, I already told you, when there is initial value present in the reduce method, for the very first iteration, the value of accumulator is equals to the initial value. Since initial value is present and this is the first iteration, the value of accumulator is equals to the initial value and initial value is 0 here. Okay, and the value of current is equals to 1 and the what will be returned here, you can see. Okay, first return something, no? Since value of current is 1, current mod 1 mod 2 is 1 mod 2 equals to 0? No, it's not. So we won't return this, we'll return accumulator plus current, that is we'll return 0 plus 1, that is we'll return 1. Okay, now come to the next iteration. For this iteration, accumulator is whatever is being returned by the previous iteration, that is 1, and current will be equals to whatever number is there after 1, that is 6. Now what will be returned? See, current is 6, since 6 mod 2 is equals to 0, this will be returned. No, accumulator itself is returned, there is no addition, nothing. So accumulator is 1, so accumulator will be returned. So you saw, when we are dealing with even number, there is no addition, we are returning accumulator as it is. Now whatever is being returned by the previous iteration will be the accumulator for the next iteration. So here 1 will be the accumulator and current will be whatever number is there after 6, that is 9. And what is being returned here, 9 will be checked, so it's an odd number, so this will come into picture, accumulator plus current, this scenario. So accumulator plus current is 10. Okay, now again for the next iteration, accumulator will be 10 because that is what is being returned by the previous iteration, and current will be 4. And what is being returned, since 4 is an odd number, accumulator itself is being returned. So accumulator itself is returned, 10 is being returned, and you can see we are getting 10 in the console also, no. So let me tell you why we used initial value here, because you see we need to check current from the very first index, from the 0th index itself. Now if we have not used initial value, the 0th index is equal to the accumulator. Okay, so that is why I used current, because an accumulator's value is not like, no, accumulator value is something like this, then added this, then this added this, like whatever is being returned is the value of accumulator, but current, the value of current iterates over this array. Iterates over this array. That is why we need to check the value of current and not the accumulator. Okay, and for this we want current to start from here only, no, because we want to check 0th index also and not start from here. That is why I used 0 as initial value. I hope you guys understand this. Let's get to the next example. Okay, given an array of numbers, filter out the highest value from the array. Okay, so let's keep this array itself. Now we have to filter out the highest value from, like, there could be any number of elements, the same algorithm will work. Okay, so what we want is, we want highest number. Highest number to be returned, no. Okay, so what we'll do is, again it's like this is same everywhere, accumulator and current. You can name it anything as I told you before, but this step is like same. We are inputting accumulator as well and current. Now what we'll check is, we'll see if if current is greater than accumulator. Okay, if this is true, then accumulator, store the value of current in the accumulator, else return accumulator as it is. And see, we got the right answer, 9 in the console. Here we do not need initial value because current starts from here, but we are comparing current and accumulator starts from here. So for the first iteration, already there we are comparing 1 and 6. So we are already comparing accumulator and current. So there is no need to have initial value, because we want to compare this and this, then this and this and this and this. Okay, you want to compare this and this, and whatever is the larger one, we'll take that one and compare it with 9, and whatever is the larger one out of these two, we'll compare it with 4. That is what we are doing here. So we don't need initial value since accumulator is already 1. So we are comparing accumulator and current, that is 1 and 6. And if current is greater than accumulator, that is 6 greater than 1, then assign the make accumulator equals to current, otherwise return accumulator as it is. Okay. and again for the next iteration we will see, since 6 is being returned, it will see if current will be now 9, so it will say is 9 greater than 6. If it is, then make the accumulator equals to 9, otherwise return accumulator as it is. So accumulator will be 9. Now for the next iteration, what we will do, we will check is 4, current will be 4, is 4 greater than 9? No, it's not, so return accumulator as it is. So 9 will be written as it is. I hope you understand this. Now let me get to the next example. Okay, it's not tough, but it will take too much time. Oh, what the heck, let's do it. Okay, so what we want is, okay, here we want sum of even and odd. So by now you guys must have understood that how reduce works is, every element in the array, in the array passes through the reducer function, that is whatever passes through the reducer function, that is whatever function we are having here. Okay, and finally whatever is the input, whether it's an array, no, input is always an array, but we'll always get output as a single, either as a single string or a single number or a single object, or might be an array. No, but whatever we get, we'll get a single element. It doesn't matter how long our array is, we get, so this name is quite right, the reduce, it reduces the whole array into a single element, no. So okay, let's do this, sum of even and odd. What I want is, I want something like this. I want even, and here I want sum of even, and I want odd, and here I want sum of odd. So I want this object to be returned. You will understand it much better if you also try it out on your own. So yes, we are returning sum of even here, and in odd we are returning sum of odd. Okay, so see carefully what we are doing here. Again, we will be using the arrow functions. What we want is, this step is like same, we will input accumulator and current, and what will return is, okay, here we need initial value. We take initial value is, we take this as initial value. You will soon understand why this empty object is initial value. For the first iteration, we will check current. We will say, since we are taking initial value, we want current to start from here only. Why we want the current to start from this number? We are taking initial value for two reasons. One, we want current to start from this number only, because we have to check each of these elements by doing current mod 2, whether it's even or odd. Okay, and second reason we are using initial value here is because we want this format. That is why I am using this initial value. Okay, so you will understand once I do it. We will say current mod 2 is current, if current is divisible by 2, then do what? Then say then return something like this, ACC, because initial value will be equals to ACC. So we will destructure this. Yes, you need to know how restructuring works. If you don't, wait for the next example. read destructuring and come back to this example. Okay, so we are this is the accumulator, so accumulator is being destructured. Then we'll say E1 equals to ACC dot E1 plus current. Okay, first let me write this out and see if it's working, then I'll explain. And I am also thinking continuously whether it's a good idea to use this example, as you guys are learning only right now, so like you are not in the advanced kind of phase. So don't get demotivated. I use this example just because it's in my blog, so I thought why not. So initial value will be this. Let's see if we are getting anything. No, we are not. It says NaN. Okay, why is it so? I want if it's divisible, then do this. If it's not, then do this. Okay, one sec. ACC dot. So instead of this initial value, we'll take initial value as even 0 and odd 0. Oh no, add odd 0. Yes, odd 0. Now we are getting somewhere. Okay, so 10 is the result of both. So yes, 10 is the result of both. So let me add one more like 3. Okay, so odd is 13 and even is 10. So we are using this as initial value. So yeah, don't get confused. So what is happening in first iteration? Let me quickly explain, very quickly. Now for the first iteration, accumulator is equals to, you will tell me what the accumulator will be equal to. Accumulator is equals to this only, because this is the initial value. Okay, now what is the current? Current will be equals to 1, because since we are providing initial value, current starts from index 0. What will we return? We'll check, is current divisible by 2? No, it's not. So this will be returned. And what is this? This is destructure this accumulator. So it will be like destructure this accumulator, then in odd leave even as it is and do something in odd. What we'll do is doing in odd, accumulator dot odd, that is this, whatever is the odd in the previous iteration, we'll get it using accumulator dot odd plus current. What is current? Current is equals to 1. So 0 plus 1, 1. This is being returned. Now what happens in the next iteration? Accumulator will be equals to this and current will be equals to the next number. What comes after 1? 6 is there after 1. What will return? What will return in this case? Again we'll check, is 6 divisible by 2? Yes, it's divisible by 2. Then return this. Okay, we'll return this. We'll again destructure accumulator, but this time on destructuring accumulator we'll get this, because this was the value of accumulator in the previous iteration, that is here you can see. So we'll get this, and inside this it will say leave odd as it is and do something to even. What will do to even? It will do current accumulator dot even, that is what was the value of even in here. This, like this is the accumulator dot even and nothing else. If you guys like think, no, you guys get it why this is accumulator dot even, because accumulator is this and accumulator dot even is obviously this 0. So yeah, accumulator dot even is 0. And what is current? Current is 6. 0 plus 6, 6, so we'll get 6 here. Okay, now let's come to the next iteration. In this iteration, accumulator is the value returned by the previous iteration, that is this. Now what will be the value of current? Current will just be the next element, that is 9. What will return? Now in this case we'll first destructure the accumulator, so this will be there. And now what will return is, we'll check is 9 divisible, no it's not, so we'll return this. That is, we leave even as it is and do something with the odd. What we'll do, whatever, this is accumulator dot odd, this is accumulator dot odd, we'll add current in it. What is current? Current is 9, so 1 plus 9, 10. Okay, 1 plus 9 is 10. Now let's come to the next iteration. This will be the accumulator in the next iteration, because this is what we are returning in the previous iteration. What will be the current? Current will be 4 this time, you know why. What will return? Will first destructure, so after this, so we'll get this. Now what we'll do is, it will check is current divisible, yes it is, so we'll get this. We'll do something to the even and leave odd as it is. What we'll do is, we'll say accumulator dot even, that is 6 plus current. What is current? Current is 4, so 6 plus 4 is 10. Now again let's, okay, again let's come to the next iteration. Now what will be the accumulator? Whatever is being returned by the previous iteration, that is 10 10 10 10. What will be the current? The last element of the array will be the current. What is the last value? 3 is the last value of the array, so 3 will be current. And what will return is, we'll first destructure the accumulator. After destructuring, we get this 10 and 10, and now it will see is 3 divisible, no it's not, so this one will be returned. No, we'll leave even as it is and we'll do something with the odd. We'll do accumulator dot odd, that is this 10 itself plus current. Current is 3, 10 plus 3, 30. So that is how we are getting this result, and after 3 there is no element left, so this is what we are getting. No, okay, now let me see how much time has passed. Okay, so yeah, 37 minutes are already up, but doesn't matter, I'll still teach. So okay, so this is the last example. Given the below array, can we filter out the first name of the persons having an age of 1 to 46? Okay, first let me copy this and then I'll tell you what we are doing here. So I hope you guys understand this. Let me remove all of this. Okay, so this is the array that we are provided with. This is an array of objects. This is kind of details of persons, first name, last name and age, first name, last name and age, and there are 5 persons here. Okay, now what we want here is, we want first names of the persons with age greater than 46. Can you guys do it? I know you can. It's easier than the previous example. So yeah, let's try to do it. No, we'll say details dot reduce, and let me store it into result, so that we are consoling, because we are consoling result below. So yeah, so if you guys watched my map and filter video, you have found the same example there, and we are getting to this result by applying map and filter both. but instead this is the more efficient way to use reduce, no, instead of applying the two methods map and filter. Okay, so how will work here is, let me call each of these object and person. Okay, so yeah, let me do it. Let's say person. Oh no, we are using reduce, no, so no person. Yes, accumulator current okay. Now if you guys could like map things out, you guys would understand that we need initial value here. This will be the initial value, because we need to check each of these elements of the array, and hence we want our current to start from index 0 itself. We want our current to start from index 0 itself. This is the first reason why we need initial value, and why we took empty array as initial value is because what I am thinking is I will destructure it and add those first names. I will destructure it and add those first names where age is greater than 46. Okay, so that is why I am taking initial empty array as initial value. So see and you will understand, no. So we'll check, we'll say is current dot age greater than 46? I don't know, but if it is greater than 46, then do something. Do what? Since this is our initial value, it will be equal to accumulator. Since it is the initial value, it will be accumulator. So destructure accumulator and do nothing, just add the first name in it. Okay, but if current dot age is not greater than 46, then return accumulator as it is. No worries, nothing you have to do, and take this as initial value. Why this red line? Am I doing something wrong? I must be doing something wrong. No, first name. Okay, first name won't work. We'll have to say current dot first name. Okay, because it doesn't know what first name is. First name is a key inside an object, so we have to provide the object, and that is current. So yeah, you guys understand it. I think it's easy, but I don't know. Let me show you. Okay, so what will be the accumulator? Like, be fast. Accumulator will be this, because this is the initial value, and initial value is equal to accumulator. What will be current? Current will be equal to this. For the first iteration, current will be equal to this. Okay, current will be equal to this. So it will check, is current dot age greater than 46? Current dot age 28. No, it's not greater than 46. No, it's not greater than 46. So return accumulator as it is. So return accumulator as it is. So it will return accumulator as it is. Now whatever is being returned in the previous iteration will be the accumulator for the next iteration. So accumulator will be this, and again we'll check. Now this is the current. Again we'll check, is current dot age greater than 46? Yes, it is greater than 46. It's 50. So return this. What is it? It says destructure accumulator, but there is nothing into accumulator. So yeah, we'll get this, and add current dot first name. This was the current. So current dot first name is Barak. Okay, so Barak will be added. Now we'll come to the next iteration. Now what will be the value of accumulator? Whatever is being returned by the previous iteration. Okay, now what will be the value of current? This will be the value of current. Is current greater than 46? No, it's not. Current dot age, it's not greater than 46. So return accumulator as it is. So we'll return accumulator as it is. Okay. Now again we'll come to the next iteration. We'll see what will be the accumulator. No, accumulator will be the value that is being returned by the previous iteration, as you, it must be etched in your memory by now. Okay, and current is this. Is current dot age greater than 46? No, it's not. So return accumulator as it is. Return accumulator as it is. Okay, now for the next iteration we'll get this last element. Again you'll see it is current dot age greater than 46. First let me write this accumulator. Okay, we'll see is current dot age greater than 46. Yes, since it's 64, then 64 is greater than 46. Yes, it's greater than 46. So return this. And what will be this? What is this? We'll first destructure the previous one. So it's being destructured. Now add current dot first name. Since this is current, current dot first name will give us Abdul. And after this element there is no current, there is no more element left in the array. This is our final result. You could see in console also, this is our final result. So that's how reduce works. It takes a reducer function which iterates over each element of the array and reduces the whole array into a single value. So yes, that is how reducer function works. Okay, I hope you guys liked this video. If you have extracted some value from this video, please subscribe to this channel, and yeah, that's all.